Hello, astrology explorers, and welcome to Bella Star Astrology. I am your host, Stella, here to share with you the wisdom of the ages of astrology, share with you all that I know so that you can improve your life and use astrology in the most practical way. Today's topic that I wanted to share with you was 5 ways you can improve your goal setting using astrology. Now, before we continue, I just want to ask you all, if you aren't already subscribed, please subscribe below. Please share this video and like this video if it's something that you are feeling is connected to you. Most importantly, we have different ways for you to connect, which are all listed below. So let's get right into this topic. It's the 5 ways to improve your goal setting with astrology. Number 1, I just want to say is improve your goal setting with astrology, which is to set your goal under each new moon. So set your goals under each new moon. So a new moon occurs about every 28 days, and you have about 12 every year, give or take, depending on how everything goes, right? And you're basically waiting for that day or around that day. Usually can feel it like a day before, a day after, so that you're just sitting down and setting your intentions. And the reason why you're waiting for the new moon is because it's the renewal of the lunar cycle. And our lunar cycle really regulates how we are approaching every month, every day, and how we are experiencing life, because the moon is really about the emotions we're feeling, about the emotions we're displaying to others, not the hidden sort of Plutonian emotions, right? The ones that are underneath the surface that we're maybe not aware of, but really how we are emoting and experiencing life. So when you start on the new moon, you're able to just renew the energy and the vitality with which you're approaching things. And depending on which new moon, it could hit any of the 12 houses of your astrology chart. For example, when I'm recording this, the new moon in Aquarius is coming up. So right around that time, I know my Aquarius is in the 6th house. I'm getting a renewal for my health. It's a great time for me to sit down and evaluate how far I've come since the last new moon in Aquarius last year, or the full moon in Aquarius around last year as well. And what was going on with me then? What was I feeling? It would have been in the summer. So did I step up in the way the full moon of Aquarius would have been in the summer? Did I change some habits after that? Did I end some things that maybe I want to restart because it was during the full moon during the summer? And then what intentions did I set last year? Have I completed? Have I felt connected to it? And that's just for me. Each and every person has Aquarius on their chart in a different placement depending on their astrology. So what you want to do is look at the new moon that's coming up. Is it in your 1st house? Do you want to change your image? Is it in your 2nd house? Do you want to change your financial outlook? So I have a whole video on that. You guys can go and look that up, which I'll link above, and you can really understand how it is that each new moon and its phase under your astrology is affecting you, what you can and what intentions you can set, what journaling you can do, what scripting you can do to get you closer to your goals, right? But first, I want you to start with the new moon. Every single month or so, you're going to sit down, you're going to get your lunar calendar, and you're going to say, hey, it's a new moon in Leo this month. Maybe it's time for me to analyze my image to the world, my integrity when it comes to the things that I am doing and how much I appreciate myself, right? Different things that you can do. But anyway, it just depends on your personal astrology. And if you don't already have your astrological chart, remember, I do have that video where you can learn how to obtain it on astro.com. So we move on to the next one. Okay, so now you guys have your chart. You've looked at how you're setting goals under the new moon. But your most important part about doing your goals is the motivation to do them, because with the motivation, you're going to be able to push yourself. And the best place to look for motivation in your chart is Mars. Now, when you're looking at your personal chart on a natal basis, on what position Mars was in when you were born, you're really trying to analyze, hey, I was motivated or rather, I'll do my example. My Mars is in Pisces. So, and it's in the 7th house. So I feel very connected and motivated when the actions that I'm taking are connected with the partnerships and the relationships that I am in. So that means I get motivated, right, personally, when I am doing things that I know will benefit my partnerships, when I know things that will help me push forward in my actions, like different things that you can do in your life. And you're really interpreting Mars in your chart on your natal chart, and how it is motivating you depending on the house and depending on the sign that it's in. And really, since my moon is in Pisces, for example, that means that it's going to go with the flow. It's not necessarily going to be one that pushes. It's going to be one that when I'm feeling up to, when I'm feeling in the best place mentally, emotionally, because I've worked on the strength of my mental and emotional self, and I've given myself the space to do the things that I can do, then I can do them, right? Whereas somebody who has Mars in Aries might be great at initiating something, and you might need someone like a person with very strong Libra, or a person with a very strong Scorpio, to really help you complete projects, right? So you'd be better starting a project, initiating a project, and helping and help from others will help you complete it, right? And that goes for every single sign. And I can do an entire Mars and motivation if you would like, and maybe I'll link it in the future to this video. But speaking of your Mars, you can also look at Mars as it is transiting. So as Mars is moving through the sky, which the period could depend on just the year and the timing. It could be anywhere from 30 to 45 days, as far as I know. And it's something that can be looked at on to your chart. How is Mars transit affecting you? So for example, right now, Mars is transiting Aquarius. It's going to meet up with Venus. It's going to be in conjunction with Venus. And this is just when I recorded this, sometime in January. And so as it's meeting up, January 2022, by the way. So as it's meeting up with Venus, that means that you can get a boost in the things that you love, and you are motivated to do some more of the things that you love. And where is it in your chart? Is it in your 1st house? Is it in your 10th house for your career? Is it in your 9th house for travel? So all of these things culminate to help you to interpret Mars and its transit. And I would always recommend that you read more, because I'm just sharing my knowledge, which is always limited because astrology is always evolving and changing. And I'm really passionate about utilizing Mars, especially since I have what is called a debilitated Mars. It's in the 12th from its personal sign. So Mars is ruled by Aries, and the position of my Mars is actually 12 houses from its ruler. It's literally like the hardest position you can have for Mars. And I still happen to find the motivation. So I feel like there's no excuse. Like, if I can do it, you can do it, guys. But really, utilizing Mars in transit, utilizing Mars in your natal chart, and understanding what motivates you, understanding how you can utilize the motivation in your chart, or rather Mars in your chart, to motivate yourself, is really helpful for really completing and improving your goal setting. And I want to go on to the next one. So let's. All right. So the third way you can improve your goal setting with astrology. And really, it's probably more like completing your goals more than goal setting, because goal setting is just sitting down and writing things down. When you are goal getting your goals, right, is to look at where Jupiter is. And this is going to give you a little bit of a push to understand where your luck is and what brings you more luck. So let's say you're trying to achieve weight loss, but Jupiter is, in your 2nd house of what you consume, because your 2nd house really represents what you're eating and what you're consuming, what you are in alignment with. Jupiter in the 2nd house could mean that, you like to eat a lot, but it could also mean that you like to eat things of high quality, right? It just depends. So interpreting what your Jupiter is in a weight loss journey, for example, could really help you. Maybe you do need more of a push. Maybe you need a personal trainer because you're going to eat more. Maybe you need to exercise more because that you're going to eat more, and something that is very, very possible is that you're not able to get motivated because, Jupiter is just expanding maybe your inability to focus because it's in your 12th house, for example. So it's really expanding on your need to stay relaxed and to take it slow. You know what I mean? It sounds like the opposite, but really Jupiter's position can show you where you're more likely to eat more, what you're more likely to eat, how you are able to improve what you're consuming, and then your luck. Where are you most lucky? Fortunately, I have Jupiter in the ninth house. I'm feeling most lucky when I am studying, when I am learning, when I am teaching, right? And so if I lean into that as opposed to being afraid of what I'm learning or sharing what I've learned, I can really improve my goal setting, because that means that I can get closer to my goals through teaching others, or closer to my financial goals by learning more, and it's just a matter of understanding what Jupiter means in your chart, how it's affecting you, whether that's in terms of a weight loss journey, in terms of your ability to attract certain things, your ability to attract solutions, and maybe Jupiter's in your seventh house and you're trying to find love and you're not understanding why you keep attracting lots of people, but you're attracting the wrong person. Right? So maybe utilizing Jupiter for that luck. Maybe now you're very lucky in love because Jupiter is in that position in the seventh house. So now what you're going to do, instead of just picking anyone, yes, many suitors will come to you. Many possible people will come to you, but you need to learn discernment, right? You need to learn what qualities you want. And that's what's fun about Jupiter. So different goals that you have, Jupiter can enhance. Different things that you are doing, Jupiter can enhance. But it can also be the opposite. It can give you too much of a good thing. And then, you're overeating on a Friday night, or you're dating the wrong person and you end up marrying them. And you're like, why did I marry this person? Utilizing Jupiter to understand what your where your luck is, where your expansion is, and then utilizing that to improve your goal setting, to hone in the skills of discernment, to be able to say, hey, I like to eat a lot, I need to exercise more. These are all opportunities for you to look at Jupiter on a more deep level and help you improve your goal setting. And then we have the North Node. And this is the fourth way that you can improve your goal setting. Some people in this world who don't know astrology are struggling every single day because they feel that life has not given them what they deserve or what they want. And I tell you that it's probably because they don't know astrology, and probably one of the most, not the most, one of the most important things to know in your astrology is where your North Node is, what sign it's in, what position it's in at the moment of your birth. You can go a completely different way if you don't know what your North Node is. For example, if you have North Node in the seventh house and you are only focused on your career because, everything is working out and all of the planets are aligned when it comes to your 10th house, but your true purpose is to live for relationship, to live for what you're trying to do. And it doesn't mean that that's all you live for, but that means for you to feel true fulfillment with your North Node, with the arrow that is pointing towards your soul's true joy, your soul's true existence, is pointing towards relationships, building those relationships, building those partnerships. And through building those partnerships, not just career, but through building those partnerships, you will find fulfillment, right? And it takes a very long time to align with that. It might even take your first Saturn return to disrupt everything, so you realize, hey, you need to focus on your relationships. Like I know a lot of people who may lose their jobs and go totally bankrupt during their Saturn return, and then they're wondering why, and at the end of the journey they find the love of their lives, and it turns out North Node was in the seventh house, right? Or there are people with North Node in the 10th house who don't want to focus on that, who only want other people to earn money for them, to have partners who are richer than they are, when it's their standing in the world and how they can formulate a future that's important to their astrology, right? Or important to their soul. So take a moment to sit down and truly understand your North Node, and then from there, build your goals. Because if you're building goals for your career, but you don't have your life fulfillment, down packed, or at least a goal in terms of your life fulfillment, in terms of building maybe your second house of wealth, and North Node is in your second house, and you're supposed to actually build and learn how to earn wealth in this lifetime, or North Node in the eighth house, you're supposed to learn how to manage your inheritance in this lifetime. And you don't have that together, everything else will feel like it's just not in the right place. You'll have all of the toys in line, and there'll be one little piece of your life that is never truly fulfilled. So that's what the North Node is all about. So every time you're sitting down to do your goals, keep in mind that it should be in alignment with your North Node. It should be in alignment with what you're trying to achieve in this lifetime. And that doesn't fulfill everyone. That doesn't make everyone happy. But there's sort of this idea that, oh, because I'm focused on my career, my love and relationships don't matter. Astrology is a holistic subject. It doesn't have to do with one aspect of your life. And if you want all aspects of your life fulfilled, really looking at the North Node as a guiding star for how you can become more fulfilled in your life, how you can become more joyous and more happy, and even just be able to accomplish more goals. I know people with North Node in the seventh house who have 10x'd their attraction power, their ability to accomplish goals after they've become in relationships that are positive. And that's something that can really support your ability to do more in your life. If you have North Node fulfilled, if you're on the true path for North Node, you can then continue to do, greater and greater things and elevate yourself on a greater standing, And hopefully this is something that will help you. And again, look at where North Node is in the position of your chart, what house it's in, and then also look at it in what sign it's in, because the interpretation can be completely different for, North Node, seventh house Pisces versus North Node, seventh house Aries. That's a very different interpretation. And having an astrologer on call, like myself, who you can contact in order to get your chart read and get more understanding on your natal chart, will really help you understand that as well. And then, of course, we move on to the fifth one. So the fifth and final way that you can really improve your goal setting, and I mean the fulfillment of those goals. Like, you sit down and it could be like a 10-year goal, it could be a 5-year goal, it could be a 3-year goal, it could be a 1-month goal because you sat down during the new moon and you set those goals for that month. But at the end of the day, at the end of the hour, at the moment you went to do this, right? The most important thing to understand is what holds you back. And a lot of these things that hold you back can be found where your Chiron placement is, which is your wound, whether it's your wound from your childhood or wound from your previous life, whatever you believe in, or wound from your non-interpretation of your Pluto. So like, you don't understand what your soul is truly desiring through Pluto. And so what you're trying to do in life is to heal those wounds. Generationally, we see the mistakes of our parents and we sort of correct them when we have children, right? Generationally, we see the mistakes of our society and we try to correct them as we continue to grow. And individually, this applies as well. So if there are actions that you took when you were younger, ways that you hurt others or hurt yourself, and when you were younger, you try to overcome them, and looking at yourself on a deeper level, utilizing an astrology reading to understand yourself on a deeper level, utilizing maybe finding an astrologer who is more apt with psychological aspect of astrology, or even just getting a therapist to be able to analyze yourself on a deeper level is so important, because you can understand the underlying motivations to why you're not doing what you're doing, why your life isn't fulfilled, how you can improve your fulfillment. And then most importantly, Chiron placement lets you know, the wound that you're carrying in this life that isn't allowing you to move forward. A lot of people might have, Chiron in the 11th house, for example. And it's something that stops you from committing to friendships or finding friends that are real, or people that are real in your life that you can connect with on a real level. And this might be something that stops you from developing the partnerships that you need. Maybe you're too trusting because Chiron's in the 11th house, or Chiron could be in the 5th house. And romantically, you're just, crippled from your inability to find someone romantically who can be on your level as well. So, and one of your goals is to find a relationship. How would you find a relationship if you can't trust another person, or you feel like you can't move on from the Chiron wounds, right? And these remedies, you can definitely look them up. There's many astrologers who have videos on how to remedy a lot of the negative aspects of Chiron, and how to improve yourself despite the wound, how to improve your life despite that problem. I just look at this because I've done this for myself and have been able to overcome them, and have realized maybe it's not always as it seems. Maybe the interpretation of what we're wounded by is feeling, in our minds, in our inability to overcome them inside of ourselves. Maybe we do need space from the relationships that are harming us. Maybe we do need an ability to look at our lives in a different way. Right. So again, this went a little deeper than I thought it was going to go. But I want you guys to fulfill your goals. And you can't fulfill your goals until you've looked at the underlying reasons that they are not really being fulfilled, that they're not really coming into fruition. Why your soul is not feeling in alignment with your goals, why you are setting goals in the middle of the month and like you never keep them. It's because you're not in alignment with the moon, or you're not motivated by Mars, or you're not in alignment with your North Node, or better yet, you're not working on your internal wounds, on your soul's needs, on sort of overcoming maybe childhood traumas and the traumas of your past that have really stopped you from accomplishing your goals to begin with. So maybe the title should be How to Accomplish Your Goals Using Astrology, right? But I love goal setting, and maybe I'll do some more videos on this. If this is a video that you enjoyed and that's something that you are interested in sharing with others, please feel free to share this. I really hope that it hits a note much deeper and that people are able to utilize this to improve their lives. And then, of course, creating and doing what you want to do and fulfilling what you want to fulfill, you're helping humanity, because maybe there's an idea or an invention or a lesson you're trying to teach others and only you can teach it. You know what I mean? And the creative mind within you is bringing forth that light. And if I can help one person with this video to bring forth the goal, the business, the thing that they most wanted, if I just help one person with this video, I would feel so grateful, because I've been working as a life coach and as an astrologer for a while, and I've wanted to bring those two bodies of thought together, because there's so many things that astrology has taught me that have improved my goal setting, that have improved my ability to connect with others on this planet, have improved my ability to run my business, that you can utilize as well. So I'm hoping that I continue to share that knowledge with you guys. And if you like this video, press the like button. It lets others find it as well. Subscribe. Please learn as much as you can about your astrology so that you can really live a more fulfilling life. And I hope that this channel is one of the pillars that helps you do that. So thank you guys, and good luck with your goal setting for 2022 and beyond.